Here we go!
Hi guys, I am back. We are over our COVID, thankfully, and I am going to start a new series with you guys. This is going to be, it's a touchy subject for some people. I'm going to give you some really honest opinions, and be super real with y'all. So, if it makes you uncomfortable, feel free to turn it off. If you don't like something I'm saying or disagree, let us know. Or if you have a different experience than what I had, that's fine. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm Pooh sized, will I fit? So basically I'm going to go through all the different Disney parks that I have been to at Disney World, and we've not been to Disneyland yet, so I can't really talk about that. But there is like Pammy plus size that was really helpful, and there's a ton of plus size TikTokers and YouTubers that give their accounts that are really great and wonderful. But this is my account. So what we're going to do is through the series, I'm going to go through each park. But I'm going to start with transportation because it's not something that you really hear people talk a lot about. But I am Pooh size. I've always been Pooh size ever since I was a little girl, my entire life. And Pooh size is just a fun way of saying plus size. I'm much a plus size girl. I generally wear a size 24, 22, 2X, 3X, and I am not telling you my exact weight because no one's going to do that. And I'm about 5'4". So I would say evenly proportioned chubby. Not like one specific area is bigger than the other. My body just loves to be all of the chubbiness. None of that's healthy or good, but we're working on it. So we're going to talk about the transportation. The modes of transportation we've taken, well, the mirrors from the airport to Disney, which they don't offer for free anymore, but if you choose to pay for that service, that was not a comfortable ride. For me, I'm wide-hipped, and being plus size, it was just not very comfortable. Now I sat next to my mom, who was definitely smaller than me, and so it was a lot better. And then one time I sat next to my daughter, who obviously is super, super smaller than me, and it made it a little more comfortable. It gave me some more room, but like really didn't want the arms down because it just wasn't comfortable. It's not a very long ride, so you just kind of, endure it. If you're plus size, it's not the first time you probably not felt comfortable on a bus. And speaking of buses, the Disney buses. So if you're Pooh size, you always have that fear of, will I fit? And, if you've never ridden on a Disney bus transportation, it definitely can be a tight squeeze, especially when they were pre-COVID, when they would pack everybody in, and you just got to know that you're going to be touching somebody. Like, even now, COVID has kind of come to a slow. It's still very, like you're going to be next to somebody. You're going to be tight next to somebody. So if you're traveling in a group, just try to, think ahead, look ahead, it doesn't have to be a big deal, and no one is ever going to, like, none of the Disney workers are ever going to shame you on the bus and be like, no, you have to squeeze into this spot. Don't be afraid to ask, hey, can I sit over there? Hey, can I sit in that seat? Don't be afraid to ask, because I've never had them say no. Other than the bus transportation, we have the Skyliner, which Skyliner is a bench seat. It's like a park bench, almost like the little wooden benches. I had no problem with that. Getting in, getting out, perfectly fine. I felt perfectly safe, and there was lots of room. When we went, it was still where they were only letting one family, and we usually go with a bunch of people, so I've never had anybody else in there besides just our family, our friends, and it's not been a problem. So, Skyliners, I don't think you'll have much of a problem. Again, I didn't have a problem given my size. I'm trying to think of any other. The trams can be tricky. If once you get back to the parking lot trams, it can be kind of a tight squeeze to get into them. Like, just, you kind of have to shimmy and find your way in. And then obviously they pack people into those as well. Thankfully, I've seen them take like the turnstiles and stuff out in certain places, so I don't think you'll have that problem much longer. I think they're seeing that it's kind of almost like an embarrassing thing. But you don't find that a lot in the transportation. I think just at the TTC area. But the boats. The boat is the ferry, other transportation here. The ferry boat, obviously, it's like bench seating again, or standing room. Most of the time we stand and watch the castle leave us, because we always take it on the way home. So the ferry, not a problem there. And the last one I want to talk about is the monorail. Monorail, again, not a problem. Bench seating, so you can sit, pretty much comfortable, or there's poles that you can stand and hold the poles, which is fun either way. Usually I like to sit by the window and look out of it and stuff. So not a problem there. Don't let transportation be a worry for you if it is. Like I said, the only time is really on that Mears bus, just wasn't super comfortable. And then riding on the Disney bus transportation can be a little tricky. But again, there are a little bit bigger seats or areas that have like where the scooters can come in. There's a single seat there, and sometimes you can sit there as well. If you do have a scooter, they give you the option that you can stay on the scooter. They just kind of buckle you in, and do not be afraid to do that. My mom did that several times because she had to have a scooter, and that kind of was more comfortable than, squishing in next to everybody on the seat. So if you're on an ECV or a scooter or wheelchair, just stay in it. It's more comfortable. You're already sitting there, and it might as well not take up the other room and just be by, not have to be squished next to someone. So those are my transportation tips. Next up, I think we're going to talk about the Magic Kingdom. And I honestly, I don't think that there's a lot of rides that I can't ride there, or that make it super, super uncomfortable, but there are a few. So we'll go over those next time. But that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and all the prayers and love when we were all sick and Leanne going through vertigo. It's been a crazy 2022 already, so we are definitely counting down our days to our trip and looking forward to that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a magical day.